Welcome. Today we are going to talk about the 6 things you should know about making your own baby food. Does the thought of making your own baby food seem completely overwhelming? Well, here are the 6 things you need to know about how and why so that it doesn't seem so overwhelming for you. First thing to know is that you get to control exactly what you're feeding your baby. And that's probably the most important part of this. This is the reason why I've made all my baby's own food and why I want to help you do it too. The recommendations are always changing. So talk to your pediatrician and the two of you can come up with a plan on what you think is best to feed your baby. And then from there, you get to pick exactly what you want to cook, in season, fresh, organic produce. And then homemade tastes better than store-bought to your baby. So you're also, that's making it a more enjoyable experience for both of you. The second thing you need to know is that it's more nutritious. So according to a recent study, store-bought food contains less than 20% of the recommended levels of minerals and micronutrients that are important to baby's development. So you definitely want to make your own fresh, because in that process of cooking fresh, you're not losing those minerals and those micronutrients. Store-bought options also have starches, additives, preservatives, and potentially harmful pesticides if you're buying non-organic. So they may contain things that you don't want your baby to have. So all in all, it's just more nutritious and a safer bet to make it fresh and make it for your baby. Third thing is that the variety is the spice of life. As adults, we think that too. We want to eat something different every single day. And by making your baby's own food, you can choose exactly what you want to make for them. You can come up with really unique combinations. You can mix and match proteins and vegetables and fruits and whatever you want to do, whatever you feel like is right for your baby. And you can also play with textures and herbs and spices and just give your baby a full range of flavors and textures. And what that's going to do is in the long run, it could potentially make your baby a less picky eater. So as they grow up and become children and then become adults, they might be more willing to try new foods and explore new foods because they were exposed to so much variety as a baby. The fourth thing you need to know is that it's easy. It's really easy to make baby's food if you have the right tools. So that's definitely the key to making baby's food. There are ways you can do it that aren't as enjoyable, like with an ice cube tray and some saran wrap. But you want to make the process easy, you want to make it fun, and you want to make it convenient. So if you don't do that, if you don't buy the right supplies and have the right tools, you're not going to enjoy it and you're not going to stick with it. And the purpose of this is to stick with it so that the baby gets all the benefits of having homemade food. So the key things to have is pretty simple. A smoothie type blender. You want to make really thin purees. So a smoothie type blender is going to be the best bet for that. You need some way to steam vegetables. And then also you're going to need either BPA-free plastic, silicone, or glass cubes that can all be individually sealed or have lids. That is the number one thing you want to have, because if you can make them in individual little containers, it makes it just as easy, just as convenient as having store-bought baby food. Another key to this is that you want to have enough of those. You want to be able to make enough puree and make enough meals, so to speak, for your baby to last you a full week, so that you're not having to make baby's food every single day. Because again, if it's daunting and if it's a task, just another thing for you to do during your day, it's not going to be enjoyable and you're not going to stick with it. And we want you to stick with it. So make it easy on yourself and have the right. The fifth thing you need to know is it's less expensive. It's cheaper. Even if you factor in your supplies that you need, you're still going to be way ahead of buying store-bought jars and especially those really expensive squeeze pouches. And the sixth thing you need to know is it's just as convenient. You know, store-bought is great because you can pop the lid off and it's ready to go. And if you have the right supplies and you do it the way we talk about, then it's just as easy as popping one container out of the freezer, and you do have to warm it up a little bit because it doesn't have the added preservatives in it, so you do have to freeze it. So warming it up is your extra step that you might not have to do with store-bought food, but other than that, it's exactly the same. So you just pop it out of the freezer, open up, warm it up, open the lid, and you're ready to feed baby. So it can be just as easy, just as convenient. We even have refillable squeeze pouches now. So you can put your foods in the refillable squeeze pouches, throw them in the fridge, and when you're running out the door, you can grab one out of the fridge and it's ready to go. So it's just as quick and just as easy as store-bought food. So we want to make baby food with you. We want to make it even more fun by putting together a class where you can come together, meet other parents, and not only get all the food, have it, be taught how to make it and make it right there so you're ready to go, but you'll also get the supplies that you need in order to continue making it at home once this food runs out. So the cost of the class includes the supplies, it includes all the food, and it also includes just the grouping and the education of all of us coming together and everything that we're going to teach you while we're making the food. That includes, how much does your baby need to eat, signs that they're hungry, signs that they're full, how you're going to store it, how you're going to prepare it after this round runs out. Fun ways to add varieties to your food, what you should feed your baby and why, so the latest recommendations, and then the amazing things that we offer at Baby Junk for feeding your baby, not only to make them the homemade baby food, but also just during feeding time, like high chairs and bibs and all that fun stuff. So join us at the next class, and we would love to see you there and help you make all your baby's organic baby.